Hello chaps and chappets, and welcome to the Double Back Monthly for May 2018. Yes, it's blogging time. This is my blogging video which I've set up in conjunction with my Patreon, so you kind of get a bit more background story of what I'm actually doing, going on, and things and bobs and bits and bobs. Yes, that's me. This video is broken down into several sections. We have the reviewer of reviews, where I talk about the games that are reviewed in the month of May. And then I have the first and last, which is my first impressions section, where I talk about games that I've played for the very first time and give you like a general overview and, you know, my thoughts and feelings about the game. Is it a game that I'm going to play again, or a game that I probably won't play again? Hence, first and last. And then we'll have like a question time segment where I just talk about the uses of them, maybe. I don't know. I'm going to talk about something anyway, board game related. It might not be board game related at all. And then I'm going to do my monthly prize draw, this time to win a board game. Yes, a board game called Small Detectives, which I'm going to give away to someone, a lucky Patreon who has pledged and thrown a little bit of money in my direction, which I think it's about time that, you know, people got something back randomly from the things that they send to me. So don't send me underwear, because I'm not sending you underwear back. So without further ado, let's go to the first section. So the first game that I'm going to talk about is actually a Kickstarter, which starts on the 5th of June. It's called Neta-Tanka, and it's from the La Boîte de Jeux. It's a worker placement game where players are all in the same tribe of nomads, and you are doing nice things. Yes, you're going to be building teepees, and you're going to be feeding your people. You're going to be building a totem pole, and you're going to be building weapons and clothes and other bits and pieces for everyone to be noted as the most generous and the kindest and the hard-workingest kind of person in the village. Yes. It has some nice little unique things. There's this timing element. Sometimes you're going to be placing a worker on an action, which may send them off to collect wood and mushrooms. But it might not be you that gets those wood and mushrooms. It'll be another player that puts their little meeple on a space which lets them take some of that wood that you've actually collected. And so there's thinking about, you know, should you do this action before this action, or should you wait for someone else to do that action so you can benefit from the generosity? Also, you know, if you play your actions before someone else, so if you're collecting wood and there's no wood because no one's collected wood from the forest, there's this nice little you know, oops, I shouldn't have done that, you know, I've come home with nothing. There's also this area control. All these action spaces are linked together by different routes. If you do two actions which are adjacent and there's a link in the middle, you get to perform that link, and that link may give you a resource, or it may give you an action. So you might be able to take another wood from the forest area, so to speak. So it's quite an intriguing, integral little worker placement game. Well, it's not that little actually. It's quite big actually. But yeah, that's coming to Kickstarter. You can check out my video, or you can go. I'll put the link to the Kickstarter in the bottom of the screen here. Well, in the show notes. That's what they're called. They're called show notes. So if you want to go and check that out, go and check that out. Next up, I did review Songbirds, which is a small card game, which is kind of like a traditional card game. There's 4 suits, there's a limited amount of numbers, but these suits are birds, and you're trying to choose one of these suits, one of these types of birds, to have the most points at the end of the game, so you win those points, so to say. This is very light playing kind of game where you're just basically playing your hand into a grid, and then the values are added up once the grid is full up, and you'll have 1 card left over, and that's the bird that you've chosen to win your points for you. And you total up each row individually, horizontally and vertically, and the value of the suit which is the highest will win the points. There is a nice little thing that if two birds have the same value, two suits have the same value, they cancel each other out, so they don't win at all. So it'll go to the bird underneath. So you can play strategically and, you know, really, it's a mathematical puzzle. It's strategic, but it's mathematical. But at the same time, it's light. You could just whack cards down willy-nilly, kind of Uno style, and see what happens. It feels very random and lucky. It's not bad. It's is it my cup of tea? Is it my cup of tea? There you go. Songbirds. Quick, small, short, songy. Now this game is definitely my cup of tea. It's called Can't Stop. It's a dice rolling game. It's an older game, but as you can see, this is a newer version by Oya. Where you're climbing mountains and you're going to be rolling dice to climb these mountains. Each mountain peak has a value corresponding with the results that you're going to get for 2 dice. You're going to be rolling 4 dice and you're going to be adding up these values in pairs, and that'll be one of the mountains that you're going to climb, and you'll have 3 of these parties, mountaineering parties, that will climb up. So you'll place one on the lowest rung, and then you roll the dice again if you wish. And if that number comes up again, if you make that number with a pair of dice, you can actually move them up another level. And you can keep doing this until you roll the dice and you can't move any of the 3 parties that you have. If you do that, you lose. But if you decide not to roll and you say, I'm going to camp, you can replace those mountain parties with camps. And then you're kind of like saving your progress up the mountain. But at the same time, you're going to not want to play cautiously because the other players are going to be racing you to get to those mountain peaks. It's a very fun, exciting, very easy to play family style game, which I think is, you know, a bit underproduced, but you know, for what you're getting a lot of game. You'll play it once and you'll probably play it again and again and again. I really like this game. Not great production values, but still a great fun game. Burky and Badger's board game Babble performed one live podcast called The Dream Team, where we were lucky enough to have Tony Galati from Arcane Wonders come along, and we interrogated him about his favourite games and what games he's looking forward to getting. But we also babbled about what designers we'd like to have working with us. What would our top 5 designers be in our imaginary company, whereas in Tony's case it would be a real company. So yeah, go and check that out. You can go and find that on iTunes and Stitcher Radio, as well as on Libsyn, and you can also just go and look on YouTube and find the video there. So that's everything audio-ish that you can actually listen to now and watch now. There'll be other things coming soon. So what are the brand new games that I play? Now if I look at my back computer and I go to Board Game Geek and I look at my playlist, I can see that I've recently just played Elder Signs for the first time. Yes! I took this game on holiday because it's been a game that I bought a while ago and I haven't got a chance to play it. And I took it on holiday with us, hoping that we'd get a chance to play it, because I took some games which don't get a lot of play. And nobody wanted to play it apart from me. So it gave me a chance to learn the rules. And the first time I played the game, I found the game too hard, and then I read the rules and I found out I did some errors wrong. And I played it again and I still found it hard. I really read the rules, because you got time when you're on holiday doing nothing, just sitting by the pool or you know, waiting for the rain to stop tapping and hammering on your caravan. I read the rules. I read the rules several times until I started to watch videos to clarify things that I thought the rules said. Yes, it's a fantasy flight game where the rule book is so concentrated. The rules are all there. You just got to, you know, highlight them yourself so you remember that rule is there. The game is quite enjoyable. I definitely found this my cup of tea. It is a dice rolling version of Arkham Horror. You basically have some locations. They have these combinations of results that you need from the dice. You choose which location you go to, and then you roll the dice, and hopefully you get a combination, and then you can mark it off with those dice. If you don't, you have to throw a dice away and then re-roll until you do get a combination. Once you've got the combinations, you get the good results. If you don't get the combinations and you've got no dice left, you get the bad results, which will mean, you know, putting a Doom token on the Doom track, or monsters will appear, or whatever. It is Arkham Horror mini light version, but without all the storytelling. It's still random chance of the dice, but I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was fun to actually, just after the fifth playthrough, to actually find it was quite a lot easier than what I thought it was going to be, thought it was when I first started. But yeah, really enjoyed Elder Signs. So, what else have we got? Oh, scroll up. Ah, there it is. Yes, because I took a load of rubbishy games rubbishy games. My wife said they were rubbishy, and she didn't want to play any of them. We went and found a game store, and we bought a game. Can't stop, of course, but we also bought Azul, which is a game which a lot of people have been talking about and has been recently nominated for a Spiel des Jahres. Azul is an abstract game where you taking tiles from a pool and then placing them on your player board, and then hopefully place them in a column which will fill up quickly, because as soon as it fills up, you get to transfer those onto your scoring point tableau. Yeah, that's it. I don't know what the hype is about this game. Sorry, Splendor is so much more interesting than this game. Maybe I haven't played it enough. I played it about two times. I played 2 times, and I don't see the strategy and I don't see the fun in it. Maybe I need to play it with some more players, because it's only been like me and the wife, and the wife enjoys it because it's just 2 players and she wins, and she likes it when she beats me at a game. But yeah, I can't find the strategy. I can't find the point, you know, because the game will end when one of the columns horizontally is filled up on a player's board, and then you look at your scores and go, okay, yeah, I won, or I didn't win. Yeah, I just found it kind of drab. You know, the tiles have a nice tactile feel to them, and they look a bit garish. But hey ho, you know, it is what it is. And I don't know what the hype is about. Seriously, I mean, Splendor. It's definitely better than this. It's got a great tactile feel, and there's a nice puzzle element. Whereas this is, you know, it just seems a bit too random. So anyway, that's my first impressions of Azul. It's not my cup of tea at the moment, but I will play it a few more times, because I think it's going to be the wife's favourite game. So there you go. Oh, lots of new games. Look at this one here. This one's called Huns by the Board Game Geek Blog. Thanks to my friend Philip Dabby-Mockett for lending me his copy. He taught me how to play this. It's a light game where you have 5 dice, and they are allocated to 5 different coloured resources, and also 5 different piles of cards. You roll these dice, and then player by player, they will choose one of these dice, and they'll either take the resources, which they can add to these little cards. Forgive me if I forget what they were, but they're like little kind of like orders that you've got to fill up. So if you need 3 red cubes, 2 yellow cubes, and a black cube to fill the order, and that will score your points. So you can collect X amount, depending on the value of the dice, of those cubes, and put them on your mat to fill them up. Or you take X amount of cards from the same color. So there's different things like treasures, which you get to take that many cards, you look through them, you choose one and you keep it, and the treasure will give you another way of scoring extra points at the end of the game. There's also some mercenaries that you can pick up, and again, you're going to need to use the resources to fill up their card, because once you've filled up, you've paid them off, so to say, you get to use their special abilities, which will help you out. You've got curses, which you can give to another player, and then they got to fill it up with resources to get rid of the curse. And then you have equipment, which is a bonus, which will help you out. And then you have this other thing, it's like an act of war, it's a red card, and it's a one-time use, and it mucks people up or gives you a bonus of some sort. But yeah, it's a relatively quick playing game with some really great art and nice components. Yeah, I kind of enjoyed it. It was, you know, a nice kind of like, you know, here's the pool of resources. What are you going to take? Oh, I'm going to take the yellow, but I'm going to take the cubes, or I'm going to take the cards. And you manage your way through that. It was quite enjoyable, very quick, cute. Definitely my cup of tea. I'll probably play this a few more times. Hopefully I'll play it a few more times before I have to give it back to Philip. Yeah, really nice Huns. So, one more game, and it's called Istanbul, the dice game. Yes, this is the dice version of Istanbul. If you played Istanbul, it's about collecting resources to get these gems, and once the gems are gone, or you've got X amount of gems, you win the game. This is pretty much the same, but it involves not moving a wooden token from a location to location to get the action. You're rolling the dice to get the actions, and you can have 2 actions. And if you get combinations of the same value on your dice, you can take a resource of that color. So if you get 2 red faces, you can take a red resource, whatever that is, or a blue resource. If you get if you use 2 different resources, you can get a gem, which you can use to re-roll as many dice as you want. If you get 3 different things, you can get other bits and pieces like a random resource. There's lots of different combinations and ways that you can get things. There's also a face which just gives you money. So if you roll lots of money, you get to take lots of money, which you can then use to do things. And as I said, there's red gems again in this. You're trying to win up as many as you possibly can, as quick as you possibly can. But you can use the money to buy gems. You can trade in resources to get the gems. There's loads of different ways to get the gems, and every time you buy a gem from a certain zone, it gets a bit harder and a bit more expensive. You need to spend more resources and more money. It has some nice little special powers. You can use the dice results to pick up these tiles, which will give you special powers. That might let you collect 1 gold every turn, or it might let you have an extra dice. So you roll 1 dice extra. It was my cup of tea. I enjoyed this game. It was kind of light, but at the same time, it was kind of, you know, everyone was fighting, and you know, there was points where players were just 1 gem ahead, and then suddenly someone would go ahead of them, and then someone else would have to run to get up. It was well balanced. It was well enjoyable. If you like Istanbul, I think this is more like King of Tokyo in Istanbul than anything else. Yeah, it was good. I did like Istanbul, the original, where you move in the workers and you're dropping them off. They're actually tokens, aren't they? Yeah. This is different. This is not so visual puzzle. This is really luck and doing the best you can with the luck of the dice. So I probably still prefer the original Istanbul to this, just a nodging. So, but yeah, my cup of tea. I enjoyed it. Istanbul, the dice game. There are no questions. There are no questions. Do you think that worked? So there you have another Double Back monthly video. We've completed everything. Yes, we have. No, we haven't. We haven't done the prize draw. The prize draw is for those Patreons that backed above the $5 limit. Is it a limit or just like a margin? But anywho, those guys and girls that have been very, very useful over the years and have continued to support me and my work. So thank you very much to you all. Let's start reading off your names, shall we? We'll start with Andrew this time. Andrew, thank you very much. We'll thank Mr. Paul Grogan, of course, who is a superstar. Thank you very much, my good sir. We have Olivier. I know your name's off by heart now. This is great. Olivier, thank you very much. Kevin, you're a superstar. We also have Curly T, Merci beaucoup, as well as Elephant Girl. I don't know how you say merci beaucoup in Belgium. And then of course there's Robert. I almost forgot Robert. Sorry, mate. So thank you, my Patreons. Now it's the time for me to pay you back something special, because I am giving away a copy of Small Detectives by Charles Chevalier and Bruno Feduti. It's a kind of like memory Cluedo game with card play, which lets you move around the map, and then the map actually has the clues and offers powers to deduce who did what murder and with what. Really nice small game. So I'm going to start with that, and I'm going to be using the boring wooden meeples from this prototype of Neta-Tanka. We have black, who's going to be representing Olivier. We have yellow, which is going to be representing Curly T. We have red, who is representing Kevin, and we have blue, which is Robert, and then we have green, which is Elephant Girl. I am going to do the traditional first player shake. This is how you do it. You take meeples, you do this, and then hopefully one will come out. If more than one comes out, I will scream like a baby, very loudly and longly, until someone comes up and gives me a cuddle or a manly hug, however you want to say it. So here we go. Is one. That is one, and it's red, and red belongs to Kevin. There you go. I will pop this in the post for you, dear sir, with a few promos, of course, and a thank you letter. Well done. Congratulations. Woo! Okay. What am I going to give away next month? Maybe one of these? Maybe this? No, I'm actually going to give away, I'm going to go for it this month. I'm going to give away a copy of Abyss, the Leviathan extension. So if you've got Abyss, this new extension, this expansion, which is really good, I will send to you. Isn't that swell? Yes. And if this takes off, I'll, if I get lots more backers, obviously I'll start maybe sending you some other games, bigger games. But if not, I might just a few more small games. So there you go. Thank you very much for getting to the end of this video. If you actually did get to the end of this video, I'll double check my YouTube stats and see how many of you actually did watch the end of the video, because I'm now gonna strip naked and give you all the pleasure. No, I won't do that. But thank you very much for watching. Thanks for all your support. Remember to like this video if you liked it, share it if you know someone that might be appreciative to this video, and don't forget, go to the boardgameseverybodyshould.com and just check out all the things that I'm going to be doing. And I would say, yes, next month I'm going to review this, and this, but the way things are at the moment, things are up in the air. I will review as many games as I possibly can and send them to you direct through the cable which is connected to your wall where your computer is, somehow. So I'll say ciao for now, and remember to please move another player's piece only when they ask you. Just sitting at the table next to Felicia would be quite nice. Wouldn't it be good? I got some board games, I don't know how many.